G'day folks, Luke Davies here from the Recycled String Band, and today we're going to talk about and make a diddly bow, which is a one-string instrument that has its origins in Africa. And a lot of old blues guys used to talk about their dad would nail a piece of wire on the shed wall, the house wall, and they'd strum it. And one string, and similar principle going here. There's lots of different variations on a diddly bow, but this is what we've come up with, and we're using a tin can as our sound box basically, and our sound board. So this string makes the bottom of the tin vibrate and we get an acoustic sound. So you play it by plucking the string. Or you can hit the string. This is a chopstick from the op shop. And traditionally we use some sort of a slide, so you could have a piece of metal, which I've got here. This is a bit off-cut, some sort of chrome piece of metal. I don't know where I got it from, but piece of it's actually a store-bought glass slide. Here's a piece of just mild steel tube. Or you can grab a stubby. A glass bottle. So there's lots of ways you can play it. It's kind of interesting. You can get some For this video we're going to concentrate on making our own. So first thing we've got to do is get all our bits together, and there's a plan that you can download off the website, off the Wangaratta Jazz and Blues website, which gives you all the dimensions, all the cutting sizes, a bit more detail, and that with conjunction with the video you should be able to make your own without too much trouble. So we roughly go over the parts that we have. We have obviously our tin, and that tin can be probably smaller, a little bit bigger if we're going to use this string. This tin seemed to suit this gauge of string and the length that we've got, this length between this part of the instrument, which is called the nut, and to the bottom here, which is for all intents and purposes on a guitar would be a bridge, but it's a scale length, so it's approximately 630 millimeters. And using that string in this size tin, it seemed to work reasonably well. So first we have to get all our bits together, and we're going to need a piece of timber. This is a bit of reclaimed cheap pine. We got it from the big recycling centre. This one is 42 millimeters by 19 millimeters, so a fairly standard piece of wood. And if you make do with what you have is the principle of these instruments. We're going to need a can. This is just a standard baked bean tin. You can use smaller tins, you can use bigger rounder ones, but for what we're doing for this instrument, following the plan, this kind of works for our length of scale. The string gauge, which is an acoustic guitar string, the second string from an acoustic guitar set. You're going to need some zip ties, a couple of zip ties. Another piece of timber that we use to put in front of the tin, like that, to stop the tin moving forward, as we talked about, and that's simply glued on in a couple of small nails. We'll fix that. We're going to need a nut for this end of the guitar for a diddly bow. You can use it. This is a bit of threaded rod that I've had off cut, or you could use a piece of timber. You could use this is a piece of bamboo, I think, from like some sort of garden stake. Another piece. You can use a lot of things. and that's half the fun, is experimenting and seeing what sort of sound you get. And for this instrument we're using a proper guitar tuner, and all the marks, all the holes are laid out in the plan that you can download. It's probably best to use a guitar tuner just to keep everything in pitch, I suppose, especially if you're playing with other musicians, which we tend to do, have lots of these and all play together. We want to tune to basically a G note, and we'll talk about how we're going to play in another video. But so a proper guitar tuner is handy. If you haven't got a proper guitar tuner, you can always make do with maybe something like this, which is just an eyelet. You could wrap a string around that and then tighten it to try to get some tension. It mightn't be as accurate or as fancy looking as this proper tuner, but it will do. And that's the thing about the blues, is not too many rules. You can make it short if you want to. You can do anything you like, really, but for the sake of our project we want to make lots of these all pretty much the same, or at least tuned to the same pitch. We may have ones that are quite a bigger tin and a different string gauge, but it'll still be similar. Anyway, we'll we've marked our holes. You can see there that I've drilled my 2 holes, which is two 14mm holes, and I've just got to clean out the waste, then put another hole 7mm into the side, which this is where our tuner is going to go in, like so. So we'll clean this up. Okay, so we've made a slot for our tuner, drilled a side hole, and I've actually made that 8mm now because it was just a little bit too tight before, and you've got to fit this little collet. So probably the best way to do that is to put your tuner there and just slide your little eyelet over the top if you can, and then we've got to sort of press it in. And you want a nice tight fit. You can see it in there now. And we just mount it like so. Now it's fairly light pine, so really you don't have to drill any holes with the screws. Would just screw in without too much trouble. So we'll put the screws in. So I'm just screwing the screws straight into the timber without drilling holes, because it's only light and it goes fairly easy. There are other ways you can mount these tuners. I think this way is probably the best for our little job, because everything's nice and flat on one side. Next thing we've got to do is put our tin on, and a piece of timber here to hold it. And I've already marked out where our tin's going to go, and it's 630mm, which is 63 centimetres. From here, this point, which will be our nut, to the bottom of our tin. We've also got to put a hole in our tin so we can put a string through it. So if we just roughly work out where our tin's going to go, that's pretty close. And then mark a spot here for a bit of timber, and we can fix that. And we can punch a hole in our tin and then tie it on. All I'm going to do here is just some simple PVA glue and a couple of simple nails. Okay, so let's punch a hole in our tin. I'm just using about a 3-inch nail, 75mm nail, roughly where I want to go in the middle of the tin. And just give it a whack. You don't want to go too big, otherwise the string will pull through. We have a piece of wood, and I've already started to put some nails through it. We're just going to put some glue on the back. You can use any sort of bit of wood, it doesn't really have to be the same as this. This is a bit off this bit, but as long as they're roughly about 25mm wide, that'll be enough to help hold the tin moving forward. Doesn't have to be perfect, after all, it's just the blues. And that should be enough now to stop the tin moving. Our tin bottom lines up with our mark, and we can attach the zip ties. So if you imagine the zip tie going through like that, just pretend the other one is doing that, so it locks onto the little lock. And just position him up. You find that once you tighten it up, you can still probably get it off. You can slide the tin underneath it. It's mainly just stopping the tin from lifting up, really, and the wood stops it from going forward. So it doesn't have to be super secure. Once there's a bit of tension from the string, it's going to do the job and hold them in place. So we're nearly there, folks. Okay, we've got our tin fixed on, our tuners on. All we're going to do now is put our string. So I've got this is a standard guitar string, plain steel, which is actually a recycled one from I've been saving strings off my guitars. When I change them, it'll sound a lot better actually with a brand new string. So we put our string through the hole. And we just want to now fix our string into here. Wrap the string with our string, wrap it around. Actually, in there now, start to tighten him up. We'll use our nut. As I said, we can use anything. A bit of a bolt. And I've got the bolt set up in the middle roughly of that line, nut line. So the highest point is coincides with that line roughly. We're in the ballpark anyway. You might trim a bit of that string off to make it safer. You can also trim your zip ties if you like, so you don't take anyone's eye out. We'll tune this up to a G note using a guitar tuner. If you haven't got a guitar tuner, you could download an app from on your smartphone. There's lots and lots of guitar tuners on smartphones, and they all sort of work similar, and a lot of them are free. And that way you can sort of be in pitch. So here we go, we've made a diddly bow, one string, lots of fun. And that's the blues riff that we're going to learn, and I'll take you through that in our next video. And we've actually got a song to go with it as well. Thanks for looking.